What if, oh, fuck. Oh my God, I could be so rich right now.
Oh.
Fuck!
Fucking stupid
I need to
guitar.
fucking laptop.
Bloody guitar
Yeah,
taking
literally,
over.
fucking guitar. Distracting me from my smut writing. Fucking hell.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast.
Sappenin!
Sappenin!
You are listening to episode 345 of Sappenin Podcast, presented by Emo's Not Dead, featuring myself, Sean Smith, and my good friend, Morgan Richards.
Yes, it's me, Morgan Richards. And if you bought tickets to my downfall, then this podcast is filled with imposter syndrome delusions that kickstart your heart into a runaway zombie dance.
Yes, this week's guest is guitar virtuoso and all-round good egg, Sophie Lloyd.
Yay! Living British guitar hero Sophie Lloyd has shredded her way into the spotlight over the last few years, gaining over 1 million YouTube subscribers with her unique guitar covers, tones, and rearranging everything from Pink Floyd to the Pokemon theme tune, leading her to start her own solo band project and collaborate with the likes of metal legends and friends of the podcast in Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm, Matt Heafy of Trivium, Michael Starr of Steel Panther, Chris Robson of Blackstone Cherry, and Brandon Sala of Atreyu on their debut studio album of original songs, fitly titled Imposter Syndrome. Oh, and she also got the very small gig, I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned this, of being Machine Gun Kelly's global touring guitarist and playing some of the most iconic venues in the world with production that could literally set you on fire.
Have you heard of him? Have you heard of him as well?
A couple of weeks ago, she grabbed headlines for the band's opening set on the Opus stage at Download Festival, Donington Park, and after gave us quite a lot of time for us to reflect on that monumental set, her growth from the screen to the stage, and what it's like as part of the MGK world.
Yes, this was a lovely chat backstage at the Boiling Hot Download Festival, where we sweated in a tent with Sophie for a good 45 minutes. So apologies to Sophie for having to look at our sweaty mugs.
Oh.
But yeah, this was a lovely, lovely chat, and very, very insightful into her coming up and the stuff she's been up to lately as well. So thank you again to Sophie for coming on. We loved having her on. Excited about what she does in the future. And yeah, let's get her back on again because it was lovely and fun.
It was. We talk about everything from a positive impact on guitar culture for women, like writing riffs versus vocal melodies, her recent wedding, what Machine Gun Kelly is really like in his creative process, and then there's two topics I never thought we would get to on this. One of them being My Chemical Romance fanfic, and the other, please stay tuned, because it's the most Blink-182 meme moment you can ever have. And trust me, it's very explicit.
Yes, wow, yes. Do you know what? As we're recording this intro, I'd forgotten about the meeting Travis Barker stuff. Wow. I don't think I really want to say any more than that. You just need to hear it. So let's get into this as soon as we can.
Yes. If you're a member of the Sad Kids Society and want something to slightly put a smile on that frowny face, head to emosnotdead.com. We all have our own page there as well in the media sections. You can go and check that out. But Sappenin listeners can use the code Sappenin20 for 20% off any merch on emosnotdead.com. You could even get a blend of Screamo coffee to walk through the rest of festival season. Speaking of festival season, this weekend we are at Radar Festival in Manchester hosting a bunch of live podcasts midday. If you're around that area, come. It's absolutely free. Head to @SappeninPod on Instagram. Give us a follow. Screenshot that you're listening to this episode. And for all the more information of what we've got going on next week, from July 9th, we'll be at 2,000 Trees doing the same thing. And we might even have an interesting announcement coming pretty soon. If you want to find out everything first before anyone else, please sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/Sappenin. The community of people over there are our favorite humans, and they're the reason this thing exists.
He's right, Ted. He's right, you know. Yes, this is Sophie Lloyd on episode 345 of Sappenin Podcast, brought to you by Emo's Not Dead. Sappenin!
Sappenin!
I should do advert voices, I think. Do you know what? Fuck this podcast shit. I'm going to just start do voice acting. No. Terrible.
Sappenin.
Sappenin! Hey!
Yes! Joining us right now is Sophie Lloyd. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Thank you so much.
Good,
We're at Download
good.
Festival. We just played our set.
Yes.
And it was so full circle. My parents were there to watch. My childhood best friend was there to watch.
really?
It was like, yeah, it was strangely wholesome for a festival that should be like, eh. I was like, oh, it was really, really
Also,
nice.
I'd like to say congratulations because you got married recently, I believe.
I did. Oh, I still feel like I'm like playing pretend, like playing, you know, like in school when you like get married to like your best friend or something. I still feel like I'm doing that. Like it's weird.
Like it's a lick sweet.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's a Haribo, right? It'll disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations, though. Yeah.
Thank you so
Very
much,
happy for
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Has the ring changed the way you play guitar yet? Or
It actually has been all right. I
Yeah?
thought it might do. Well, the thing is, you can use it like for like some cool techniques. You can see because Zach Wilde used to have this ring that he would like slide
Yeah,
down and
yeah.
make some cool sounds. So I'm experimenting with it, seeing what I can do with it to
nice.
incorporate it into the playing.
wow, dude, I've
It won't be,
added.
yeah, it won't be long till guitarists just have metal fingers. Just all metal fingers.
Yeah, yeah. As we do fast as possible. More is more, as they say.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
No, but how was coming off stage from that set for you? Because you mentioned there, like, it's very, very full circle, very nice moments, but just this journey that you've been on from playing guitar online to then becoming in the band and just
Yeah.
touring constantly, like, a show of that size under your own name must have felt like such a massive moment for you personally.
It really, really did. Like, I think, you know, I kind of do everything, as cheesy as it sounds, I do everything I do for my like 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
That was like that awkward, weird kid playing guitar in my room, you know, and I sort of like dedicated, this sounds so crazy. I dedicated like this show to her. I was sort of like have a moment where I kind of ground myself and I was like, this show is for like that girl that was the fan in the front row. Do you know what I mean? I was that fan that was front row screaming for like that person. And I think it's just, yeah, so special, especially this was a festival I used to come to all the time as a kid. So to be able to play and like just look out and see all the faces is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were some of the bands that you grew up idolizing? Who were the bands that got you into it?
So a big one was Avenged Sevenfold. I think Sinister Gates, you know, sort of solos and stuff are a big inspiration to me as harmonies. I think they're quite reminiscent of like my solos now. And then I had a lot of people that were on the album. Lizzie Hale was a big inspiration to me as well. Kind of being a big female in the rock space was really cool. And obviously I got to do a song with her, which she's just the nicest as well. And Orianthe, a big, you know, female guitarist. Like she's absolutely powerhouse in this industry. And, you know, a lot of people that were on the album as well, like Matt Heafy from Trivium. Trivium were a big inspiration. Like Steel Panther were a big inspiration of like bringing the fun and like the... Like rock doesn't always have to be super serious, you know, it can be fun and funny and you can do silly things. And I think that was like a really big, you know, Satch is an amazing player as well. So I have a lot of definitely weird inspiration sources. So yeah.
Right.
But that's another full circle moment in itself. You mentioned all those names and then half of them have been on your album. So
Well,
I like
yeah.
to think now that like you've gone from like, oh, this is really cool, I'm going to learn the techniques, to being like, oh, they're my friends and I can just get them on to do music with me.
I know that's like the crazy thing. And that's kind of what I was saying, like when I did that album it was quite retrospective.
Yeah.
Like I did it for my 14-year-old self, like with like the artists that she would have wanted to like jam with and collab with and stuff. And I think it would have been so special it was special for me, but also for her as well. You know, just being able to look forward and knowing that was going to come, I think is just like a really cool thing. Like I had like their posters on my wall growing up and it's just, I don't know, it's honestly amazing. Like I said, I am that fangirl. So
No, but it's nice to see, like we mention this all the time, like you don't want to lose that. You
Yeah.
want to have that retrospective ever knowing how important it is, because as soon as that goes, then you're just kind of going through the motions, and
exactly, and
no one
everything
wants that.
kind of becomes boring, and that's I think it's important to have that kind of grounding to you. And I think, I still remember I used to write My Chemical Romance fan fiction.
Yeah.
I was on Wattpad writing, Frera, Gerard Way, went to his member, that was me. So I hope someone one day writes fan fiction about me.
Nice.
Oh, God, yeah,
That's the dream.
Wow, don't say that.
Gerard Way. I hope
Gerard Way will write a comic book fan fiction about me. That's the ultimate Full
That's
House.
the dream.
Yeah, Roundhouse dream.
That would be the dream.
Have you met any of the My Chemical Romance boys?
No, I wish. I feel like they're honestly the type of people, like when you have you meet people, a lot of the time they're fucking incredible, but sometimes they don't live up to what you think and stuff so there's some people I want to keep so special and sacred to me that I don't want to meet.
They are beautiful.
Exactly. They are
nice.
gods in my eyes, so I do not want to meet them. So I don't know. I just like having some people that are just these mysterious, mystical beings,
Fair enough.
To save people's Google searches right now, can they find your My Chem fanfic online, or is it being taken out?
Do you know what? I'm not sure, because I never upload. It never got approved for upload.
Oh, okay.
And it was 200,000 words.
What? That's a lot of words.
I know. It's embarrassing. You recoiled at that.
200,000
It was embarrassing. I know, 200,000 words. It had pictures. It had everything. It was so embarrassing. It was dramatic as well. It brought the drama. It was everything.
Oh.
That's a little book.
I know, literally. And this was when the MacBooks used to be white all the way around. It was those days. So I think my MacBook broke or something, and I'm so mad that I haven't got it on a fucking hard drive, because I would fucking pay anything to do a dramatic reading of that. I would love to.
Yeah, if you find that, is that something? Yeah,
you could publish that?
You
Can
could
you
do a
publish
graphic novel.
Literally, I would.
Too graphic.
Well, Twilight was based on a My Chemical Romance fan fiction.
Was it?
Yeah.
I knew it was fanfic. I didn't know it was MCR, though.
It was fanfic at the end. It was my MCR fanfic.
So what
That's
happens if
Twilight
you
was based.
accidentally written
The next
what
Twilight.
should have been Twilight, but then Twilight came out?
Fuck. Oh my God, I could be so rich right now.
Oh.
Fucking stupid
I need to
guitar.
fucking laptop.
Bloody guitar.
Yeah,
taking
literally,
over.
fucking guitar. Distracting me from my smut writing. Fucking hell.
Hell of a sentence. But
I
speaking
hope they hear this.
yeah, I
They
hope
might.
they do.
They
I
better
hope
do.
They might.
Speaking of that journey, though, obviously you first got a lot of people's attention when you were doing those covers on YouTube, right?
yeah.
And that escalated so quickly with you doing different styles and stuff, taking songs and just maybe shred them over them instead, or
Yeah.
just change it whole completely. How did that evolution change? Was there a point where you realized that this is actually working? I could continue down this road before you went into the band stuff?
Yeah, I think... So I made my first EP called Delusions, which is an instrumental thing. And it was originally a Christmas present for my mum and dad. It wasn't meant to be particularly publicly released. It was just for me to be look, I play guitar. When I was at uni, and give them, I'd make them up one t-shirt that they could wear, And then I ended up filming a music video for it, and it just that was my first video that ended up blowing up a bit and reached over 1 million views. And I actually that was when AdSense came in, so I saw a bit of money from it, and I was oh, hello, maybe I could do something with this. So I sort of got into doing my shred versions. I was doing pop. I did one of Dua Lipa and stuff, because I love vocals, I love melody and music, but I'm a fucking god awful singer. So I knew I couldn't sing, so I wanted to do something that kept the melody of these songs, sort of alive. And then, but just add my silly shreddy spin on it and make them into giant guitar solos. So that's what I started to do. And I think some of them did quite well. And then I think I did one of Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, and that one did really well and blew the channel up. And yeah, it's been amazing that the power of social media, that I've been able to meet so many people and reach so many people and guitarists and stuff that...
When did the first idea to put a band together come about?
So I've always wanted to do live stuff, but I always had quite bad imposter syndrome and performance anxiety, hence the album Imposter Syndrome. So I kind of did it without thinking about doing anything live. I kind of started writing just because I enjoy writing and I wanted to like write music. And my, now husband is my drummer. So he would he would do a lot of like writing with me. We'd write together and we kind of ended up writing a bunch of kind of glorified backing tracks that we sent out to the vocalists of Imposter Syndrome, and they came back and were amazing. And then we were like, okay, we need to somehow figure out how to do this live. Obviously, each song has a different vocalist on it. So we're like, how are we going to do this? And we decided to get guest singers, like different guest singers on each thing. And it worked well. Like I was because I had bad performance anxiety. So I started on Twitch during COVID, which helped kind of break the barrier, performing live, but not quite. You're still from the comfort of your home. And then obviously MGK reached out and I managed to join them with performing live, but not being, the main person. So I gained a lot of confidence, a lot of experience. And then it kind of helped me step forward and be like, okay, now I know I can do it. So now I just need to add the speaking to the audience, which I'm not very good at, but it's okay. We're only, this is like maybe our 5th live show or something as a band, so it's still a very early band together, so we're kind of learning how it goes. Each show is improving.
It's not bad. Download Festival is not bad for a 5th show.
I know, I was going to say, it's not too bad, is it?
It's all right,
I'll take it.
And you've done the arena in Cardiff as well.
I know, our first show was Underworld, which we sold out, which was amazing. And then we did Arena with Those Damn Crows.
Yeah.
And then we did Whiskey in LA, which was amazing. And that was this one. So fuck show.
Oh, what's next? Madison Square Garden.
Sorry guys.
The Wembley Stadium was a small club
Yeah,
show.
it's just really small.
Just 90,000 people loving me. But no, congratulations on everything so far.
Thank you so much.
One of the things I wanted to mention was the there's a difference between writing taking a song and rewriting it with guitar parts, but writing it from scratch, right? And as you're a guitarist, I know you just said you really like melodies and vocal lines.
Yeah.
But how do you go about that writing process? Like, do you think of like, okay, this is how I would imagine a vocal line to go? Or do you just think like, oh, I'm going to ask so-and-so and they're just going to do something over it? Like, how is there much thought on that? Or is it more guitar-based first? Like, how would you structure it?
Is this for like songs that have vocals over them?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
So, I'll kind of write, we'll write like, so we always have a vocalist in mind when we were writing Imposter Syndrome. So I was like, for example, I'm like, okay, I want to write a song that suits a Lizzie Hale type voice that has like this really belty kind of melodic, beautiful kind of voice. So we wrote for that in keys that I know like she can sing in. Like I'll sort of listen to her, be like, okay, well she writes in this key a lot, so I'll try and do something in that key. And we'll take that, it'll kind of become a more developed idea. I'm not really thinking of melody lines just yet. I'm just kind of thinking of what sounds cool as like an instrumental piece on its own, like without a vocalist on it. What some top lines I can add, we just build it kind of from there. And then once we got it, I try not to attach a melody to it because I like to send it to the singer and give them full control, because I don't want to be like, oh, you have to do it like this, you have to do it like that, because I feel like that blocks them in, because there's like the people I collab with, I trust so much, and it's like they're experts in their own field. I shouldn't fucking tell. I don't know shit, I don't want to tell them what to do. I'm not going to tell fucking Lizzie how to sing a song. So, she'll come back and she'll send something, and obviously it's amazing. And then I'll take that and I'll be like, okay, what top lines can I add that complement that? So I'll kind of take what they do and how can I make this solo kind of reminiscent of a vocal line that she did. So I'll change my parts that I've done already a little bit to match her vocal line, so it'll kind of become like that. In the future, I'd love to like get into the studio with people. Like this whole album was kind of recorded during COVID time, so it was all like over the internet. But I'd love for my next album to be like in the studio, ideally, like one-on-one, working in real life, in person, not just over Zoom.
Nice. Would you get all the separate artists to come to you then, or will you travel to them?
Oh, they have to come to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, we have to record it in my bedroom right now, Sorry, guys.
We have to take photos outside my house.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, I will not leave my room. I'm still in bed when they come, like in my pajamas, like, hello.
We'll record it. You stand in my garden, I'll be in my bedroom looking out the window.
Yes.
Again!
Yeah.
The red light is on.
Yeah, God, that would suck. Do it again.
Do you think there would be another, like the next album would have a collection of guests again? Or because obviously you've got Marissa from Marissa and the Moths has been singing live with you. Do you think like there's going to be some work with her as like the bass and then other people? Or have you not really thought that much about it yet?
I think probably my next album might go a little bit more into instrumental again. Just because collaborating is fucking hard work. I love all the artists, fucking incredible, but like organizing things with like management and everything, getting it out when they don't have releases, it's a fucking nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So like, I think I might just kind of do an instrumental thing that's kind of just me and I can kind of be in control of. But like, I'd love to work with some people that people wouldn't really expect, if you know what I mean. Like, I like to bring guitar more into the mainstream, and I think that's kind of coming with, you know, acts like Olivia Rodrigo, and like Chaperone has got some live guitar in her stuff. And I think that's really, really cool that's kind of, you know, I just want to sort of, I was going to say expose myself to little girls, but that sounded super weird. That's not what I mean.
You do that when things start to tank.
Right? Then we get an OnlyFans, and that's where we go. But I'd like to, you know, for girls to see like more guitarists and more female guitarists and be inspired to kind of do that. And I think, you know, a lot of people listen to pop. I have a girly pop playlist which is full of Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter and stuff. So I want to maybe collaborate with people, you know, sort of that field as well, and bring rock solos and bring some kind of guitar-y stuff into their music. I think that would be really, really interesting too. So yeah, I have big like ideas of where I want to go. And,
Well, I'm sure working with Machine Gun Kelly as well and doing all those tours, like you must have had so many messages from women like kind of reaching out and being like, it's so good to have someone like you be there and like not only just play guitar, but have your own moments where you can do those big solos and like riffs and everything in between.
Definitely. Like Kels is really good at like giving us all our time in the spotlight. Like he sort of says, okay, you need to do an epic solo here. Like he's very aware of that and wanting to. I think that's kind of why they took a chance on me, was so because they wanted to show this kind of female guitarist to their predominantly female audience. And I think that's really cool. And like, honestly, the best thing for me is when young girls come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I started playing guitar because of you. I did this. I'm doing your course. I'm doing this. Like, there's just, I don't know, nothing better. And I'm just so grateful that I can impact the scene kind of in that way. Because, you know, you see numbers on a screen and you don't really think about it. But when you actually see people in real life that tell you the impact that they have on you, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the most important, I think. It's like, you can look at Spotify numbers as much as you want. But it's until you actually meet the people who are influenced by your music, that's when it really means. Like people going, you know, because like bookers will go off Spotify numbers, but then the real thing is the amount of actual people who love you and
definitely
show you attention. And
it is amazing. It's like, like I said, I was like fangirl, so it's like nice to, I don't know, it's very wholesome.
Well, that's it. You've been in their place. So like, you've met people and been like, you've been me.
Exactly. That's the thing. And you know, like when you're a fan of someone, you know how much they mean to you. Do you know what I mean? Like they are your like world, like they're your personality, like they, you know, do you know what I mean? Like they're such like a important part of your development, especially at that age. So to be able to, you know, sort of contribute in some sort of way to that and guitar culture is just like, really incredible.
I kind of found it hard to be like when people told me like my band, they'd be like, oh, you're my favorite band ever.
Was it? Okay. Was it the Blackout?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Nice. Thank you. But
so exciting.
So this is right. So this interaction's
wait. Was it Blackout? You need to come and take everything you know.
There we go.
She's in.
Yes.
She's in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scream into the mic.
But well, all right. So that interaction there.
Sorry, that's me being my fangirl again.
but like I always find it mad because I've done that to like Fred Durst and Mike Patton and Dal Plumbo for Limp Bizkit and Glassjaw and stuff like that. Like I always found it strange to me when people were like, "You're my favorite band in the world," and I'm like, "But Limp Bizkit exist."
Exactly. It's
what
like,
do you mean?
No, you're wrong. I can't possibly be.
It's just a very strange feeling, and it takes a while to
sink in.
To be able to accept it as well. To be like, oh, thank you, I really appreciate it, rather than be like, are you fucking mental?
Lying? Yeah.
You want drugs right now?
Literally, yeah. Well, I guess, but it's difficult because like they obviously, you've grown up with Limp Bizkit and stuff, whereas they're a new generation and they've grown up with you. You know, like they've grown up with you being that monumental figure. So I think like, I don't know. That's why it's just so, like, I grew up with Orianthe, and then obviously there was Nita Strauss, and, like, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's cool to see the progression of new people coming out. It's very cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, how did that work with Machine Gun Kelly come about? Was it just people noticed you online and thought you'd be a good fit?
Do you know what it was? It was the drummer Rook. It was Rook's dad. Followed me online.
Ooh.
So I love him so much. So he found me online. He showed me to Rook, the drummer, and then they were looking for a guitarist just to kind of, Carl's wanted to take a bit of a step back from guitar and kind of focus on vocals a bit more. So he literally just reached out to me on Instagram one day and was just like, I'd messaged him like 2 years prior being like, if you ever need a guitarist, hit me up, like shooting my shot. And then he messaged me like 2 years later being like, how's serendipitous? So I Googled what serendipitous means. And then I went, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah or no?
Yeah.
Whatever
the right answer
great
is.
or terrible, whatever that means.
Whatever the right answer is, that's what I'm saying. Literally. And he was just like, are you in LA? And I went, yeah.
Can be.
Definitely.
Yeah,
give me 9 hours.
I can be. Yeah, I was literally like, I went to the next flight to LA.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. But yeah, like I was so grateful they took a chance on me because I didn't really audition or anything. I just kind of sent them some videos of me playing in my old band, and like 2 days before I went out, and we had to get a visa, which was a whole fucking thing. But 2 days before I went out, I was like with my old band Marisa and the Moths at playing Purple Turtle in Reading, and then like two nights later I was at like an arena in Texas, somewhere in the middle of fucking Texas, like playing, and it was.
So there was no rehearsal, like no.
We had a couple weeks rehearsal before, and then I had to fly back to get my visa, literally for 2 days to get my visa. And I was like banging on the embassy door on the morning of my flight to our first tour date, like, give me my passport.
I need to get in, please.
Oh my God, it was chaotic. But we managed to pull it off, and I'm so grateful they took a chance on me. Obviously, seeing someone online, you never really know, like, if it's real. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of. Yeah. So I'm grateful they were like, no, let's take a chance on this girl, and I think that's really, really, really cool.
Yeah. So. How many times did you have to check that it was definitely the official MGK account?
I know, quite a few. I was like, refresh. Yeah, literally so many times.
I mean, anybody could buy a tick now. This could be anybody.
I know, genuinely. But yeah, we had a FaceTime like a couple days after. And it was funny because like he messaged me on the day we were moving out of London. I was like, let's move out of London, get like a slower pace of life, get a dog, buy a house.
Right, we're going to go.
And then I was like, literally. Yeah, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Let's have a slower life.
Plan changed.
Let's have a slower life. And by slower life, I mean fast as fuck from tomorrow.
Fast as fuck. 100 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
It was crazy. Yeah. Honestly, it was a whirlwind. But it went so well. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm excited for like more gigs, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I watched the vlog you did when you first went out to rehearse and stuff. And like, I think like a lot of people probably shared this with you, but people don't understand how much work goes into a show and a tour like that, right? Yeah. Because it's not just, okay, you and the rest of the band members finding a groove and learning the songs together. It's then like the pyro and all the like production and learning where not to stand because fire's going to be there at that point and shit like that.
Definitely. Like, and like choreography and stuff, like something I'd never really like kind of experienced before, like to that level of like, hey, you need to stand here, otherwise you'll be up in flames, you know? So it was all a learning process, but that's the thing I really, really enjoy is like the production of a show and how things are going to work. So I took to that quite quickly. Like I enjoy the performance aspect. I enjoy like being silly and running around. That's something I've always liked to do. So I kind of fell into that. I think for me, what was hard, like if you've seen that vlog, there's a very embarrassing clip of me crying my eyes out on it, holding a little toy cat because I miss my pet so much. Like I think that was a big thing for me, was like the kind of, you know, you see tour and it's so glamorized, but then it's actually, there's this whole other side to it where you just miss home so much. And like being in America, you know, I miss my English breakfast, my Heinz baked beans.
Not over there.
I literally bring cases of Heinz baked beans with me on tour. I need them every night. And it's like, you know, you miss little things like that. My partner wrapped up brushed my cat, wrapped up a bunch of her fur in this little like fucking cling film parcel that I took with me in my pocket everywhere I went. Every time I went to the airport, they were like, is that drugs?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, how did you get pulled?
I know. I was like, literally, I was like, I promise it's my cat's fur. It's weirder, actually. You'd probably feel more comfortable if it was cocaine, but unfortunately, it's just...
hairy cocaine.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, come through.
Yeah, they're like, come on then,
Yeah,
let me
come
have some.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
There's a cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, it's sort of things like that like, I think you have to learn on the road is how to deal with that kind of homesickness and that, there's just a lot of waiting around, a lot of unglamorous stuff, that comes with tour that I guess I didn't realize, but it's amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to like work with to learn the ropes.
Is there any more plans to do more with MGK, or is it just...
Yeah, like he's releasing an album in August,
Nice.
a new album, Lost Americana, which is going to be really, really cool. I've heard some of the songs, they're great. And I think the plan is to tour later on this year.
Nice.
Which will be really, really fun. So I'm really excited for that. Like I've had like a nice kind of chill out session, this like earlier this year where like we could sort of prep for the wedding and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm ready to kind of go back out there and have some crazy stories to tell again.
I'm sure. Well, how is it kind of not being around him, but just kind of like learning how creative he is as well, right? Because you've had a first experience with that, where a lot of people online maybe don't understand like how much he actually puts into the thought process behind every single thing.
He's always working. Like honestly, he's always got his little beat paddy thing where he's like hitting buttons, trying to come up with beats. Like he's one of the most hardworking people I know, and like he surrounds himself with hard. Like the whole team is so incredibly hardworking. They're all so passionate about everything. Like every second of the day he's writing. He'll be on an airplane like writing beats, and it's like really inspiring to see because it pushes you to be better as well, and I think it's such a collaborative effort, and it's just made me a better musician being in that band and being surrounded by those sorts of people.
Nice. Does it mean that you that the management just normally like ask you to keep certain schedules free and ready for him to be like, oh, I'm touring at these dates, or do you kind of know in advance that like, oh, this summer I'm busy and this summer I can do my own thing? Like
sometimes they kind of try to give you as much heads up as possible, but it doesn't always go to plan. But they give a good effort. Like I know to try and keep like kind of free.
Right,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but like don't tell anyone if anyone's listening. But
We'll beep the month. We'll beep the month on our bit.
There you go. Yeah.
Beep.
Beep beep.
In beep.
Yeah. But yeah,
Could be
like
anything.
I'm they kind of tell me when to kind of keep free, but obviously they kind of work, the music industry works. It's very much, hurry up and then wait. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of in the wait period where you wait for those dates, and then suddenly it's like, okay, we're going out tomorrow. And you're like, okay, I love this album now. So it's like you don't get much notice, but that's kind of the adrenaline of it and the fun of it a lot of the time.
Nice. I'm surprised he hasn't played the download or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, he did a few years ago, but I mean since transitioning more into the rock side, that he hasn't done a bigger set here.
I think he did, because like we did a big rock festival, and we did Rock and Park, Hellfest, all of those ones a few years ago. I think he played it download, and I don't think it went down that great. I'm not 100% sure what happened because I wasn't in the band, but I think they've I think something happened and they're not come back. I don't know whether they might do one day or not. But
Okay.
I'm not at liberty to speak.
Yeah. I
It's
think,
not down to you. It's not down to you.
but I think since he played here last, there's been such a shift.
Yeah. Massively.
Definitely.
Like
Massively.
McFly, Busted.
Exactly.
Like if Venga Boys. If the Venga Boys can play,
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. People have started accepting that. Thing is, he is, like, I think people were very protective of genres before. Do you know what I mean? People were very much like, no, you're this, and you stick to this, and this is, but it's like, he's a rock kid at heart. He loves fucking Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park and all of these bands. He grew up on them and he toured with them, and he loves that. And like, he really loves that scene. Like that's not an act. Do you know what I mean? Like he fucking loves it, and he deserves to play these festivals because he is a rock kid. He comes up with great guitar solos. I think it's really like inspiring the way he's like been learning guitar in front of the world as well. Like, not many people have the guts to be like, I'm going to pick up this new instrument and try and play it and like practice. And like, he actively will come to me and Justin, the other guitarist in the band, and be like, can you teach me how to do this? Can you teach me how to do that? And I think that's really cool and like inspiring, because you feel like when you're a big artist, you feel like you need to be perfect to everything you do. But the fact he can come out and be like, no, I'm learning how to play this. I think this is really fucking cool. I admire these people. I want to learn and I want to join this kind of genre. I think that's fucking awesome.
Well, most people like that, I think, would just hide away and take private lessons and then just be like, haha, I've turned up.
Here I am.
And here I am. I'm brilliant on guitar.
Exactly.
But that's much nicer to hear that he'll come to
Exactly.
guitarists.
That's the thing. It's nice to see that kind of progression, I think. And that's the thing I've tried to do in my YouTube channel. You know, I started doing covers which were less than perfect, you know, and but people can see like, oh, I get where she's got to where she is because she's done all of this and people can see the progression. And I think that's kind of what he's trying to do, make it accessible to people, you know, that people can hear it and play the riff that he's written. And I think it's something I'm very proud to be a part of.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that inner fangirl, right, on those MGK tours, there's been some mad moments where you've played shows and you either had like Avril Lavigne supporting you,
Oh my
for
God,
example,
yeah.
or whatever, or, you know, just...
Supporting us is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, Travis Barker just turns up half the
I
time.
know,
or it's
fucking
like,
Tommy Lee.
you have Tommy Lee, like, insane.
Yeah.
Has there been many moments like that where you're just like, okay, I'm backstage, I'm making like a sandwich or whatever, and then you're like, oh, it's fucking Blink-182.
Oh,
like,
100%. Yeah, every single... The worst was when I met... the first time I met Travis, so I was having a wardrobe malfunction with my outfit.
Oh, no.
I was wearing this little bralette and I was on stage and I was playing a song and my bralette kept slipping down. So I went to our wardrobe lady, Alyssa. I was like, sort of motioned her like, I need you like to come here and like fucking tape me up. So after the song finished, I like ran down the little steps and just without thinking, I just kind of looked down and thought it was Alyssa, which is crazy because Alyssa's got this long blonde hair and it's tall as fuck. And I just lifted up my shirt. I ran downstairs and went, "Whoop," like for her to tape up my boobs. And Travis was like, oh,
Lovely to meet you.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like,
It was so bad. And he was very nice about it, bless him. No,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I thought
Yeah. Oh my God,
went
yeah.
on this
Sorry, I thought
rambling
you were Tommy
thing.
Lee.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought
this is a Motley Crue gig. I don't know what's going on. Sorry for that. I couldn't help it.
It's very confusing. Thank God Corny was there. But yeah, then we had to go on and play a song together. But he was honestly,
I just like the idea of him just play.
yeah. I was like, hi, you've just seen my tits. I'm so sorry.
Weirdness.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking set.
Nice to meet you. Here I am.
Yeah. He's like, am I getting paid for this, or was that?
Yeah.
yeah. But
What's
isn't
going
it,
on
that is
here?
such a Blink-182 meme moment as well in itself. So
Yeah,
like,
literally, yeah. He
like-
probably thought I was doing like a
Oh my
shtick or
God.
something.
Wow.
But that was definitely a moment. I was like, this is my life. That's so fucking crazy.
Have you had any strange occurrences with like film stars or anything like that out there? Like Samuel L. Jackson turn up and go,
Oh,
Travis told me that. Hi, nice to meet you. Travis told me that when you first meet people.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I flashed several people. No, honestly, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've met that many film stars. For me, like, I love Ramesh Ranganathan, so that was a
Nice.
big one.
Oh,
He was
okay,
at
yeah.
Download last year.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest fangirl. I think he is so hot. Oh my God, I'm so in love with him. So I was the biggest fangirl when I saw him last year here, and that was really cool.
Nice.
Film stars, I'm not sure. I'm like,
Well,
no.
I'm just wondering if you
I was going to say,
there's
yeah.
Megan Fox, is there? Sure.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Wait, is she about?
She was definitely about. She was.
She about, like-
she's about.
I don't mean now, like.
She's hanging out. No, yeah, she's awesome. My boyfriend loves to tell stories like him being in a hot tub with Megan Fox. That's like his
Wow.
go-to story to all the lads, which I think is, she's so lovely though, and she's so beautiful. Oh my God, she like wakes up on the bus in the morning and she's like the most
Just
gorgeous
jealous,
face
like, yeah.
ever. I'm like, fuck off.
But,
I'm kidding.
Ah.
She's fucking awesome.
Well,
but like,
Sophie,
yeah.
you've got stories for days, and I literally wish we could continue talking for ages, but I know how busy you are today.
I know.
So
I need a wee as well. So
honestly, thank you for taking the time. It's been lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
so
and,
good to meet you as well.
Let's do one of these again sometime.
Thank you
Yes,
so
please.
much. To the blackout. Woo!
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes! The wonderful, the soulful, the intelligent, the shredder, Sophie Lloyd.
Hey!
If she doesn't use that bit there now as an intro for her live shows, I'm going to be very, very upset because that was great. But yes, thank you again to Sophie for giving us her time, for giving us the riffs, for giving us the insight. Congratulations to her husband. I left that gap so it would be a little bit awkward because people don't know what I'm about to say. But it's about the getting in the hot tub with Megan Fox. Well done. Every man's dream. Every man's dream.
Also, if If we ever get Travis Barker on this podcast, I think the first question could be, what was your thoughts about first meeting Sophie Lloyd?
Yeah. Sorry. Right then. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's guest is, he plays drums or something, and he's got loads of tattoos. Travis Barker. Travis, could you tell us about the first time you met Sophie Lloyd? Yeah! Oh,
what
yeah,
a story. What a fucking story.
wait.
It is the ultimate Blink-182 meme living out in fantasy. And you can tell, like, throughout this conversation, she literally is living that imposter syndrome, but embracing it. Like, she's just getting all these moments and taking it not for granted, just like living in it. And it's just amazing to see. Like, I've seen so many videos of her riffing away with Machine Gun Kelly and everything. And they're playing some, like, the biggest ringers all across the world. So it's just great that someone can literally go from playing a few covers on YouTube to, like, rocking out in front of thousands every single night.
Yes, very true. What I will say about imposter syndrome is I reckon probably 90% of people in bands have it. So if you are in a band and you're like, oh, why do people care? Oh, why is this happening? Just go with it. Honestly now, go with it. Everybody in a band started out as a fucking numpty trying to make some music that they liked. That's it. And, James Hetfield at some point was not James Hetfield of Metallica. Like, it was just a fella fanning about with spanners. I don't know what he did before. Fanning about with spanners. I mean, if that's not a band name, I don't know. We are fanning about with spanners.
Wow.
But all my point in imposter syndrome is don't worry. Just fucking carry on. Stay confident. Keep practicing and just do the best you can. And then that's it.
Well, James Hetfield posted a photo this week of him sitting on that famous bench in Birmingham with members of Black Sabbath on it, because obviously they're doing that Black Sabbath show, which they obviously owe all their careers to that band.
100%.
Yeah.
Aye. Absolutely bonkers.
Keep it updated with everything we got going on at Sappenin Pod. This month is batshit crazy. We are literally in festival fields every single weekend and have an announcement coming up very, very soon. Shout out to our friends at Emo's Not Dead. Get 20% off all their merch using the code Sappenin20, emosnotdead.com, just for being absolute legends and working with us on many things behind the scenes. If you want even more chaotic conversations of me and Sean and some guests, sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/Sappenin this week. I will give you an exclusive access to a conversation we had with another guitar legend in Adam of Lorna Shore from Download Festival. You can only listen to that on the Patreon, patreon.com/Sappenin, and signing up gets you involved with a whole community of people who are literally meeting up every weekend this month to go to gigs, go to festivals, having a good time, and you can too.
Yes, speaking of festivals, we're at Radar Festival this weekend, Friday to Sunday, doing live podcast every day from 12 p.m. at the O2 Victoria Warehouse in Manchester. Also, if you listen to this after the weekend, let us know at Sappenin Pod on the socials if you went to see Slayer, the Black Sabbath show, or Oasis. I want to know how these things went. Because, it's a fucking massive weekend for gigs. Absolutely huge. So, yes. And then coming up, speaking of gigs, July 17th. Is it 17th and 18th? Or was it 18th and 19th? I think it might be 18th and 19th.
18th and 19th.
How do I tell you why I don't know, because my month looks mental and my calendar is nuts, right? But 18th and 19th of July, my band, The Blackout, are supporting Funeral for a Friend in Leeds on the 18th, and then Cardiff Castle on the 19th. Try and come along. And then August the 16th, my band is doing our only headline set of the year at Chepstow Castle, and I am currently sorting out pyrotechnics.
Ooh! Are you going to have me convert into flames?
No, I'm going to start you vaping. And then you can be our CO2 machine instead of having to pay for a CO2 machine if you just do a vape. Check this out, right? So I was talking to our lighting guy, a bit of behind the scenes,
okay,
right?
Here we go.
I was talking to our lighting and production guy about this, and I was talking to the promoter, and the promoter was like, "How much CO2 do you want?" And my first thought was, "What the fuck what sort of amounts of CO2 do you, or can you, what's it measured in? I don't know, a litre. Give me a litre of it. I don't know. I talked to my lighting guy and he said, tell him we want a minute's worth. It's measured in time. It can't be, surely. Anyway, that's one of the many things that I've got on my plate that I am constantly dealing with every bloody day. So, yes. But once again, thanks again to Sophie Lloyd. Thanks to everybody who's ever been part of our Patreon. Our Patreon literally keeps this podcast going. So please get involved at patreon.com/Sappenin. But right now, I have to give a shout out to the top tiers of our podcast Patreon, who are as follows. Thank you very much. Kylie Wheeler, Paul Hirschfield, Scarlett Charlton, Mitch Perry, Tony Michael, Nathan Croshaw, Johanna, Dilly Grimwood, Jonathan Gutierrez, Molly Malloy and James Bowerbank, Amy Louise, Kat Besant, Ian Gent, Amy Hogg, Chris Howard, Janelle Caston, Jenny Robson, Amy Dawson, Scott Jones, Mayumi, Stuart McNaught, Ellen Southfield, John and Emma, Jennifer Dean, Caroline Robinson, Jenny Munster, Craig Harris, Louis Cook, Carl Pendlebury, James McNaught, Jason Reddia, Martina McManus, Danny Eaton, Span, Thomas O'Neill, Ollie Amesbury, Dan Peregrine, Emily Perry, Adam King of the Goss Parslow, Kalila Keane, Josh. I told my boss the 3 companies were after me and that I needed a raise. He asked me which 3 companies. I said GA. I said GA. Right, it haven't fitted again. Wait, if I click his name, does it show the full thing? Wait, I got to do it just to find out. Show me his name.
Is the joke that we can't read it? Like, is that...
I said GA. I don't know. Let me go back and try it again. I told my boss that 3 companies were after me and that I needed a raise. He asked me which 3 companies. I said GA. It can't be, man. Anyway, thank you very much. Lavender Lee Martin, Laura Russell, Sophia Zuravska, Fraser Cummins, Kyle King of the Clothsmith, and Connor Lewins. Thank you very much to all of those people and anybody who's part of our Patreon. We love you very, very much. We could not do this without you. So thank you very much to the Patreon. You are the beautiful support that I never thought we'd ever get. So we love you very much. Stay safe. Keep your tongue out. Don't be sick.
Love you. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week every Friday. Screenshot this, put in your story, share it with people. Love you very, 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 very much.
Let us know about those gigs on the weekend.
Hey!
Sappenin! Come see us at Radar. Why did I turn into a ghost?
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast with Sean Smith and Morgan Richards. Thank you very much for downloading this podcast or streaming it, or I don't know what else you do with podcasts. Thank you very much.